What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. So the moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. CG has just dropped some information in a road ahead for the new game mode that they've been talking about for a while. I've briefly read over it, so we'll hop in and just kind of read over it together and get some reactions going here. If this is your first time to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, though, for some more videos in the future. Cover all types of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content. All right, let's hop over and take a look at this road ahead that we've been waiting for. All right, so this mainly just goes over the new game mode is the main thing that they've addressed in this. And it seems to be pretty interesting. So it says, hi, Holotable Heroes. We're excited to begin sharing details about the next feature coming to Holotables in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Galactic Challenges. Our main goal for this feature is to provide more activities for players each day. We hear players asking for more ways to use their growing roster of units. So that's been my main complaint about the game is I've got really two squads that I do arena climbs with, and they're my main GAC squads as well. So outside of GAC, I really don't get to use my other teams that much. Really, just when I want to have fun with them, I take them through Galactic War, and Galactic War at this point is pretty much a joke. So I'm interested to see some new game modes where we can actually test out and play our entire roster in different ways. So it says Galactic Challenges are first in a series of features similar to how Grand Arena was for the basis of Grand Arena Championships that will work together to offer new ways to utilize your collection. So seems like they're actually addressing this main issue. I know from me as a player and then from the player base and people I talk to within Discord and everything else, there is a frustration of not being able to play the game. When you want to play the game, there's just nothing to do. All right, so what are Galactic Challenges? Galactic Challenges are a new type of event that will feature interesting combat puzzles, which will challenge on a regular basis. So this event will feature a rotation of different enemy factions, allowing you to test out different parts of your collection. What makes Galactic Challenges an interesting twist from other forms of combat is the introduction of randomly selected combat modifiers to constantly challenge up the puzzle. Modifiers come in 3 different forms: environmentally, enemy, and player. So that sounds pretty interesting. That I like the idea of rotating challenges where maybe if you've got Empire in there, you want to take Rebels or vice versa, that sort of thing. So, and then it also says environmental, which seems pretty cool too. Like actually what planet you're fighting on will have some pluses and some minuses, it sounds like. And then I'm not really sure about the player one here. So let's keep reading. We want to keep these bonuses and matches up thematic, but use a variety of options to keep those challenges unique and interesting. For example, environmental modifiers come from the planet or location and apply to both the player and the enemy. So that's pretty cool. So it has to do, like I said, with where the planet's at, what you're fighting on. Hoth could have a modifier called Frostbite that makes units more vulnerable. Enemy modifiers are tied to the enemy faction, so Imperial troopers could have a positive modifier called Imperial Assault that gives them offense up, but have a negative modifier called Pew Pew, which makes units hit less. That's pretty funny. That's pretty clever, CG. I'll give you that one. Player modifiers can also be positive and negative and applied to the player's units. The different environments, enemy factions, and combat modifiers, positive and negative, combine to create a fresh and interesting challenge. So I like the idea of this so far. I'm just wanting to see kind of how it plays out and how long they are. Like, one of the things that I want to see is gameplay that lasts a while and maybe that's replayable. It's not something you just do once per day like Galactic War and move on from. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so the challenge in Galactic Challenges. We're still working on some details like what level Galactic Challenges unlock, but our intention is for Galactic Challenges to offer an appropriate challenge for you wherever you are in the game. There will be multiple tiers increasing in difficulty. Players can attempt them all to earn rewards, but we'll recommend a starting tier based on your collection. So in addition to playing the base missions for each tier may feature feats. Feats will add an additional layer of complexity to the puzzle, so you can bring your favorite squad into the battle. Feats will challenge you to complete the battle with additional conditions to earn more rewards. So I do like that. I like being able to challenge yourself to get a higher reward based off of what you're doing. One thing that I am kind of, they haven't addressed so far yet, unless I just missed it, is I hope it's not going to be exactly like Galactic War, where if you do lose a team, you're not able to use them again. Maybe it's something that, like the challenge tiers, where you can keep attempting till you figure it out and work it out that way. That way you've got continual gameplay. If you're failing, then you can kind of work on tweaking it to get it figured out, which I think is more fun because it just gives you, the ability to play the game more often. So we'll see how that works. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to reuse characters or not. So schedule for Galactic Challenges. You'll earn access to Galactic Challenges by completing daily activities. Once you qualify to enter the event for the day, you will be able to play any tier, and importantly, you will be able to play as many times as you like that day to attempt to complete as many tiers and feats as possible. So I do like that. So that sounds like that answered my concern right there of how much that you can play. It doesn't necessarily say that you can't, or that you lose characters or not if they are defeated. So I would like a little bit more clarification on that, but I hope, like I said, I hope that's not the case. I hope it's not Galactic War. Similar to Grand Arena Championships, will release Galactic Challenges in an exhibition season format. During this time, you'll try different versions of the event, and see which combinations work best. But we're currently envisioning an event duration of 24 hours to 7 days with 7 tiers of difficulty and 3 feats per tier. That's all they have for the day. So we finally got some good news from CG. Like, I'm glad, like, this seems like it's going to be positive for the entire player base. And it seems like it's something that people will unlock even through the leveling process. So new players will have access to more fun, engaging content that they can test out their characters on as they're leveling up, just like people who've been playing this game for 5 years have access to. That's something that is desperately needed, so I'm glad that they're addressing that. And I'm just interested to see how this plays out. I think it's going to be fun. I just know that I want something more to do in the game, and it's hitting up one of those major flaws that I see in the game, is it's a character collection game, and a lot of times you're not using the characters that you've collected. You're using the same ones over and over again, and I think with them being able to have different factions in there that you're going against, and different feats where you may want to use certain types of characters to complete those feats in a certain way so you get better rewards, I think is a plus. And then it's just varying all the time, so there's a lot of interaction with different types. It's going to feel new every time you go into that game, or come into the game mode. So I hope that they're able to pull that off well. And then I also hope that the rewards are good as well. Like CG, like for newer players especially, like I'm going on, coming up in a few months, being in this game for a year. There needs to be some catch-up mechanics as far as gear is concerned. So I'm hoping that this will address some of the issues that people have with just being able to gear up characters. You think of new players, like you veterans who've been here for a while, relics may not be as big of a deal for you because you've had a bunch of gear farmed up over years and just have a ton of them that you can break down for relics. Well, that's not the case for new players. So there needs to be a little bit of an acceleration mode, and I think this would be a good place to help players gear out characters, especially if you're going to require relics on more useless characters going into like these events. Like, I really like the Luke event, but just like Galactic Legends, my big concern as a player is I don't want to inflate my roster because Grand Arena is my favorite part of the game, and then do this big investment just to get one team unlocked with, and then I've got a bunch of relic characters that I really don't care about. So if you're going to make that process easier, it's going to make me not caring about them quite a bit less if I'm able to get the gear on a more regular basis to gear up those characters and relic them. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited about this? I think it's going to be good. I'm just excited for new content that's available for everybody. Like, my biggest complaint over my time in this game has been everything that's released has been for whales and krakens, and people who are free to play or newer players don't even have access to this. We're watching other content creators do that. This is something that I'm hoping will be fun, and something that you guys may want to watch on the channel. Just being able to play through this on a daily basis. Maybe going through challenges together, figuring them out, I think will be fun for the community and content creators as a whole. But let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video.